Have you ever spent so much time thinking about a decision that you never actually made one? Should I take the job, start the business, end the relationship? The more you think, the harder the decision becomes. That's analysis paralysis. Coming up, I will explain how overthinking is keeping you stuck. Let's get started. If you're new here, my name is Matthew Royse. I am a knowledge enthusiast. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering, said Yoda, a character in the long-running Star Wars film series. Years ago, I spent weeks researching a decision I could have made in a day. I read articles, compared options, asked for advice, and you know what happened? Nothing. I wasn't making progress. I was avoiding commitment. Analysis paralysis is not about making better decisions, but trying to avoid making bad ones. Here are 10 things you can do to overcome analysis paralysis. Number 1, set clear goals. Clearly define what you want to achieve by setting goals. Set specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals, or SMART goals. When you have a clear direction, you can improve your decision-making process and focus your analysis. When you set your goals, put them in writing so they are tangible and easy to track. Number 2, limit your options. Too many options can overwhelm you. It will help you prolong the decision-making process. Identify the most viable options and focus your analysis on those few options. When you narrow down the choices available, you can overcome analysis paralysis. Number 3, gather the necessary information. Collect the relevant information you need to make a good decision. Determine what data, facts, and insights are critical. Avoid too much information and set a time limit for gathering information. You only want the necessary information and discontinue ongoing research. Number 4, analyze the pros and cons. Create a list of the pros and cons of each option to analyze the advantages and disadvantages. Consider the short-term and long-term implications of the pros and cons. Be aware of the biases and set reasonable time limits for the analysis. Number 5, trust your intuition. Rely on your inner wisdom and instincts when making decisions. Gut feelings or instincts can provide valuable insights. While analysis is essential, don't disregard your gut. If you are strongly inclined toward a particular option, consider it more. Number 6, set a deadline. When deciding, establish a deadline. This will help you create a sense of urgency and prevent delays. The deadline should be reasonable so you have time to gather information and conduct analysis. However, it should not be too far out, as that would prolong the decision-making process. Number 7, break it down. Break the decision into smaller, more manageable tasks. Decisions can seem overwhelming, so it's critical you break them down. When you take this approach, you can alleviate the pressure of the decision and make the process more manageable. Number 8, consider the 80-20 rule. 80% of the desired outcomes come from 20% of the effort. Identify the crucial factors that will have the greatest impact and focus your analysis on those. Rather than getting lost in minor details, focus on what really matters. Ask yourself, what are the 2 or 3 factors that matter the most? Ignore everything else for now. Number 9, practice self-awareness. Develop self-awareness and identify when you are overthinking. Be mindful of your tendencies and recognize when you're falling into the trap of analysis paralysis. When you catch yourself overanalyzing, redirect those thoughts to taking action. Number 10, no decision is perfect, so take the leap. No decision is ever perfect. You must take the leap and decide at some point. There will always be some degree of uncertainty in a decision, so you must act. Embrace a growth mindset so you reduce the worry of making mistakes and see them as part of the learning process. Okay, let's bring it all together. First, if you like what you saw here, please hit the subscribe button below. I've rarely regretted making a thoughtful decision quickly. I've often regretted waiting too long. Clarity rarely comes before action. It usually comes after. The cost of a wrong decision is often smaller than the cost of no decision. Most people aren't stuck because they lack information. They are stuck because they fear commitment. Progress beats certainty. The biggest opportunities in life rarely come with guarantees. At some point, you have to stop researching, stop comparing, stop waiting, and take action. You don't need perfect information. You need enough information and the courage to act. Because the longer you stay stuck, the more opportunities pass you by. Thank you for watching. Until next time.